Hi, I hope this video finds you well. You have been invited to this new fundraising initiative because I trust that I can share the details of this journey with you, and I need your help. See, leadership has been something that chased me all my life, pleading for me to interact with it, but being the young and naive human that I was, I rejected it countless times, feeling small and incapable of the greatness which it asked of me. Haven't you ever felt like you just don't belong? Your thoughts tell you that you're unworthy, unlovable, and deserving of pain. I remember my response to those feelings. The only words that could come from my lips were, I don't want to be here. Meaning, I didn't necessarily want to die, but I definitely didn't want to live. I was so disconnected from myself and lacking trust and guidance that I became cynical in my perception of the world. I have documented my life privately since the age of 7. To this day, I am astounded by how profound my vocabulary was even at that age. What is even more shocking is the amount of trauma I could already recount and the triggering impact it would have on the years to come. Trauma, or what the CDC's 1999 study calls adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, are potentially traumatic events that occur in childhood, such as experiencing violence, abuse, or neglect, witnessing violence in the home, having a family member attempt or die by suicide, growing up in a household with substance misuse, mental health problems, or instability due to parental separation or incarceration. The study concluded that ACEs are common. About 61% of adults reported that they had experienced at least one type of ACE. Women and several minority groups were at greater risk for having experienced 4 or more types of ACEs. So as it turns out, I did belong, just not to the demographic I expected or even wanted. There were times when I moved so perfectly with the universe. I had beautiful thoughts, pure intentions, and attracted amazing people into my life. But just as there were the highest highs, there came the lowest lows. My thoughts tended to get dark. I could often see when the shade would come over my eyes and depression would surround me with its stubborn inertia. Now, instead of listening to what the universe was asking of me, which was to just be honest with myself about what had happened in my past and how I feel about it in the present, I decided to ignore it, keeping the stories to myself, and they got heavier and harder to hold. The pressure built up in my mind, causing migraines. I felt I could not articulate myself because I was illiterate about life in general. I believed that no one would understand, and so I felt and felt and felt until I found ways to numb myself. Consequently, I told through a slew of mental health issues, impulsive and excessive behaviors, and emotional dysregulation. The spending, drinking, reckless driving, starving, binging, and cutting myself amounted to a concoction of self-diagnosed body dysmorphic disorder and borderline personality disorder. I was 16 years old and an alcoholic. I will never forget the day I hauled myself to school after a shot of Johnny Walker to get me out the door, and a bottle of gin hidden in plain sight as natural Canadian water to get me through the day. I made it to school, got to my locker, took another sip of water, and paced myself to get to class. I was already late, but I was so numb I didn't care. I sat at my assigned seat and dazed out. Moments later, my teacher received what seemed like a telegram from the guidance office requesting my attendance. I just about shit myself. Did they know? Has someone spelled it on my breath? Will I finally have to confess? The thoughts flashed as I shoved a piece of gum into my mouth while I waited to be seen by the counselor. What happened next shook me to the core. Here's what Mr. Ng said. You know, Kasia, here at this school, we aim to lead and guide our students to a successful future. I was sure this was an intervention. As we spoke, I imagined my locker being searched and my emergency gin being seized. More than one of your teachers have voiced that you show great leadership ability and have nominated you to be a mentor to students starting high school this summer. I was disappointed. I knew I had leadership qualities. That was evident. I was vice president and president of my elementary school the previous years. What I realized at that moment and what disappointed me was I was regarded as competent enough. I was still high functioning enough that even at my lowest points, people still looked at me as a leader. They couldn't see my pain through my strength and beauty. It was clear to me that I had a problem, but it was my problem. No one was going to save me here. The onus was on me to seek out the solution. After leaving the guidance counselor's office, I located a mental health clinic and saw a therapist for the first time. That day marked the beginning of my hero's journey and the quest for sobriety and liberation. I really wish I could say that it got easier from that point, but overcoming my own barriers would be an ongoing effort. It's really important to me that I be more honest about where I've come from and what has happened and how I feel about it all, because I know that there are so many other people who have gone through the things that I have gone through, and they just need a representative for them, someone that has gone through it and has made it out. I know that's crucial. It was crucial to me and my development. I'm so grateful that I have been able to work through these issues to the point where I'm now sober. And I am so excited about that, and I am announcing that and saying this here so that I can be held accountable. And the irony of this all is that after several years of intense, independent research, study, and experiences to last a lifetime in these respected fields among many more, I have been offered the extraordinary and exclusive opportunity to be mentored by best-selling author, motivational speaker, and pioneering hypnotherapist trainer, Dr. Marissa Peer. This training is the next essential piece to the puzzle of my life's work, connecting me with a mentor living the life I have been envisioning for myself for many years. Marissa Peer has helped thousands of people overcome profound personal issues while giving engaging and amusing keynote speeches peppered with anecdotes from over 3 decades of treating a client list that includes international superstars, CEOs, and royalty. The opportunity came almost out of nowhere, but definitely in perfect timing. During the interview, we discussed humanity's condition and how we aim to make ourselves of service for its betterment. I explained the work I have done to develop my philosophical school of thought thus far, and my aspirations to partner with the Community Crisis Response Program in Toronto to provide support and resources to communities impacted by violent and traumatic incidents. They were so impressed that they called the following day to welcome me into the program. I was ecstatic, though I reluctantly expressed that I do not currently have the funds for the program and would have to postpone my start date until then. I have a plan to heal the world, an opportunity to learn a skill to execute it, and no money to make it happen. If your story is anything like my own, you desire to see a world better than the one you have now, and you love to make a difference in the lives of those you care about. So I'm not asking you to donate out of pity for me. I'm asking you to donate for all of those who are still enduring the effects of adverse childhood experiences and are frantically looking for a way out. I'm asking for help because I'm no longer ashamed to say that I need it. Donate now to help me heal the world as a certified hypnotherapist. Anyone who donates over $100 will receive a complimentary rapid transformational therapy session, once I'm certified, of course. Thank you everyone who has made a significant contribution to my life. You saw the potential in me before I saw it in myself, and that means the world to me. So now I want to give back to the world.